Let's go. Wuhu Islands in Halo 3.
Before we jump
Yeah, I
into
must have
Wuhu
forgotten that
Island's
part.
first appearance, let's go over some of the major landmarks and areas of Wuhu Island. This way we'll all be on the same page and I can refer to places around the island without you being confused. The first thing you'll probably notice is Wuhu, the giant volcano near the center.
Yeah,
of
you
the
could
island.
used to
And
be able to
luckily
fly
for
in
the
that on
residents
the
of
mini
Wuhu
game.
Island, it hasn't erupted in over 200 years. Sitting just next to Wuhu is Duckling Lake and Summerstone Castle. The Summerstone Falls are also just next to these landmarks. On the west side,
And I don't remember that at all.
a huge lighthouse called the Candle. The
I don't
Candle was
remember that.
accidentally built twice as big as its originally planned size.
All I remember
resulting
is
in
the
its massive
volcano
appearance.
and like
On
the
south
grass.
side of the island near the ocean is Wuhu Town, where there is a main plaza area with a broken clock tower, a big water fountain, and even a basketball court. Right next to Wuhu Town is the Starboard Harbor. And
Oh, I
Queen
remember
Beach,
that.
a
I remember
huge
the
cruise ship
harbor.
named after Princess Peach
Yeah, I
herself.
remember that.
Just to the
That's
east of
that's where
Wuhu Town
the
is
that's where
Red
the game
Island
the mini game started, where you take off from the plane in the water. I remember.
Bridge, which leads to the Kokoba Hotel, a perfect 5-star hotel with 9 floors. Southeast of the Kokoba Hotel is Camel Rock, which has beaches on both sides. If you follow the road up from Kokoba Hotel, you'll go into a mountain tunnel that cuts through the mountain with some openings to show the ocean. And if you keep following this road, you'll end up at the north corner of the island, where some mysterious ancient ruins reside.
They didn't
Okay,
have
stick
free
with me
roam
here
back
because
then.
We're almost done. The last major landmark I will highlight is Wedge Island, a small Gulf island to the southwest of Wuhu Island. On Wedge Island, you can find the 19th Hole Hotel, Crab Rock, and a whole bunch of golf courses. Okay, I think that should be
I don't
enough to
remember
give you
that.
a basic idea of the island and refresh your memory a little bit. If you're interested in learning more
Oh,
about
I
the
remember this
locations of
mini-game.
Wuhu Island,
I was good
there's
at
a
this
great
one.
guide that has all of the locations with plenty of facts and information about each one. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out.
Damn, someone made a
And now that
wiki
we've
about
covered
it?
all the major landmarks, we can dive into the history of Wuhu Island and all the games it's appeared in.
Damn.
The earliest known appearance of Wuhu Island was actually in the original Wii Sports. Now you might be thinking, Wuhu Island wasn't in that game, and you're right. While Wuhu Island does not appear in the release version of Wii Sports, an early beta build of the game featured an extra sport called Airplane. The only footage that I could find of this beta sport was recorded off-screen at Nintendo's E3 2006. In this sport, you pilot a plane through rings above an island.
Dude, this is still so cool.
Island. There is a large mountain with a lake near the center, and a town
The
at
motion
south end
controls?
with a bridge, and even the mountain tunnel. The basic size and shape of the island are also similar to Wuhu Island. According to some data miners, this island was called Wii Island. No, not Wii. Wii. Like what you say on a roller coaster. Let's all be grateful that name was changed. And what looks to be an early version of Wuhu Town was called Wake City. Obviously, this is a very bare-bones version of Wuhu Island, but it's still really cool to see. This beta plane sport was cut from the final version of Wii Sports, but it would eventually return in a different game. I didn't even know this existed before I started researching for this video.
This definitely
This is
existed.
the earliest known version of what would eventually become Wuhu Island. The next time Wuhu Island appeared was in 2007 with the release of Wii Fit. Although it still wasn't called Wuhu
Was Wii
Island
Fit
yet.
the one with
Instead,
the
it was
pad
called
on the
Wii Fit
floor?
Island. And while it was a
Yeah,
big
it
upgrade
was.
from
I
Wii
didn't
Island,
have that
it
one.
was still missing a lot of the landmarks and details that Wuhu Island has today. The best way to see all the changes is to look at the map.
Like the Wii Sports and Wii like Sports Resort, they always promoted like get up and like move your body, you know, but like no one did that. We all sat like on the couch or like on the bed and we just played it from the bed and we held it like this. We never did that. I never stood up once.
Found in the Wii Fit manual. As you can see,
The
there are
Wario
multiple
mini
major
game?
differences here.
Yeah, I don't remember
Wuhu
that.
is called Rocky Peak, and it doesn't appear to be a volcano at all. Summerstone Castle is missing, and Duckling Lake is called Summit Lake. Wuhu Town is called Wii Fit Town, and is also missing a lot of the buildings and locations of
Oh,
Wuhu Town,
WarioWare?
like the
Yeah, I
basketball
didn't
court and
have
clock tower.
WarioWare.
The Starboard Harbor and the Queen Peach are also missing. I could keep listing differences, but I think you get the idea. This is a
I've never
big
played
improvement from
WarioWare.
Wii Island, but it's not quite there yet. It seems Nintendo didn't want Wii Island to go to waste, so they converted it into a place for Wii Fit players to run. I don't think Nintendo had a long-term plan when they originally created this island, but it would eventually evolve and become Wuhu Island, the main location for Wii Sports Resort. But before we get there, let's
Didn't
talk
have
a
a
little
Wii
bit
when I
about the
played it
things
at my
you can do
friend's
on Wii
house.
Fit Island in Wii Fit. Sadly, there
played it
really
with my
isn't
dad.
many things to do on Wii Fit Island. Pretty much the only thing you can do
It was
is
fun. I don't
jog.
remember
Wii
much,
Fit
but
has a mode where you
was
can
fun.
go for a short, long, or free run around the island. This is the
And
best
an
way to get a
Xbox.
look at Wii Fit Island. And
Yeah,
if
I
you
had a
pass your
Wii.
guide and start
I was a
following a dog
Nintendo
instead,
guy.
you can go on alternate routes
Nintendo
that can lead you
kid.
to more interesting places around the island, like the beach. It's so weird to be running on the Red Iron Bridge and see Rocky Peak where Wuhu is supposed to be. It almost doesn't feel like the same island without the big volcano in the middle. The island is much more detailed than Wii Island was, but I wish Wii Fit had more activities to do on the island because jogging is really the only one. But don't worry, because Wii Fit Island is about to transform into Wuhu Island and be featured in one of the best games Nintendo has ever made.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
it's
can't
time to talk
top
about
this.
The game you probably know Wuhu Island from, Wii Sports Resort. This game is seriously one of my favorite games of all time.
I'll turn it up.
Something about it just makes me so
There we go.
happy. But I can talk about how much I love Wii Sports Resort in a different video. Wii Sports Resort was announced at E3
Yeah,
2008
I should do a Wii
alongside
Sports
the Wii
Resort
Motion
stream.
Plus and some super awkward E3 stage moments.
Oh, go, go! Oh, no!
Oh no.
Oh, go, girl, go! Yes!
Very nice.
Yeah, it's easy to see why Nintendo changed to pre-recorded directs. One kind of cool thing that happened leading up to the game's release was that they turned Times Square in New York City into Wuhu Island for a day. They moved in a bunch of sand
really?
and palm trees and everyone could try out the game themselves. If we ever get a new game featuring Wuhu Island,
Oh,
they
that's
better
pretty
do this
cool.
again because I want to go.
At a beach in New York.
Wii Sports Resort was released in the summer of 2009, and just like that, Wii Fit Island transformed into Wuhu Island. All of the previously mentioned changes
Oh, I
were
remember
made,
this one.
and now this island is more detailed and better than ever. While you can only jog in Wii Fit, there's way more stuff to do.
I
on
remember the
island
boat
this time
one too,
around.
the one where you were on the
Everything
back.
from golfing on Wedge Island to beating the crap out
And
of
you
some
like
mates at Camera
surfed
Rock.
and you
This is
like
the
you
most
jumped on a
in-depth
wave.
experience
I can't
on
remember what
Wuhu
it was
Island
called.
we have ever
Oh, this
had.
game was good. I like this
Explore.
one. This was one of my
All the
favorites. I
activities
like
and
hitting the
sports are
people.
so diverse and take place all over the island at different locations. But by far the best way to experience Wuhu Island is the island flyover mode.
Yeah,
This game mode
I
lets you
love this
pilot
one.
a plane and fly completely freely all over the island. Hey, wait a minute. Doesn't this mode look familiar? Yes, it seems like the forgotten plane sport from the original Wii Sports was eventually implemented into this game, although it's much better this time. Instead of flying through meaningless hoops for points, now you have iPoints, which give you lots of fun facts and details about the location you just passed. This was always my favorite mode to play. It's just so relaxing and enjoyable to glide over all the scenic views. You can play this mode during the day, sunset, or at night. I've spent countless hours in this mode alone, and it's a big reason why I love this island so much.
I
just
wonder
wish
where
there
my
wasn't a
Wii
time
is.
limit, because I could play this
I
mode
know I still
forever.
have it.
Some of my other favorite sports are
It's
sword
in
fight
this house,
showdown,
but I
basketball
don't
pickup
know where it
games,
is.
and archery. All of the
Probably in
sports
one of
and
the
mini
closets.
games are super fun, and the replay
Oh,
value is through
yeah,
the roof.
archery
In
was
the
good.
original Wii Sports, all
Oh,
the
here's what I was
sports
talking
take
about.
place in different separated locations, but in Wii Sports Resort, every single sport happens somewhere on the island. I think this is why Wuhu Island sticks in our minds so many years later. We've played basketball in Wuhu Town, table tennis at the Kokoba Hotel, canoed across Duckling Lake, and
No,
thrown frisbees
the
on
duck
beach.
one.
Even inside sports like bowling still have a location on the island. One of my favorite things to do was fly over the island and try to find the location of all the different sports. When I think of the words Nintendo Magic, my mind often goes to Wuhu Island. Something about all these amazing sports taking place on this one island turns Wuhu Island into
And
something
Nintendo
special.
can make
And I
some
haven't
good
even talked
games and
about
they
the
can make
music
some
yet.
really bad ones.
I could talk about this game forever, but I'll start wrapping it up here. Wii Sports Resort is the game that cemented Wuhu Island as one of Nintendo's most famous locations, as well as added so much charm and detail to make Wuhu Island a place we all wish we could visit. And while this game was definitely its largest appearance, Wuhu Island isn't done yet. Wii Fit Plus is the next game to feature Wuhu Island, and this time around it's
I didn't
actually
have
called
Wii
Wuhu
Fit
Island.
Plus.
Wii Fit Plus was basically like an upgraded version of Wii Fit with more options and workouts. If you compare the map that comes in the manual of both Wii Fit games, you can see that Wii
Well,
Fit Plus
I
now
wasn't
features
too
the fully
fit
upgraded
either.
Wuhu Island. So say goodbye to Wii Fit Island. Everything matches the Wii Sports Resort version of Wuhu Island this time, which means all the names, locations, and landmarks are correct. Jogging is pretty much the same as it was in the original Wii Fit, but of course with the updated island. But there are also some new additional workouts that take place on Wuhu Island. These include cycling around the island, a rhythm march through Wuhu Town, a strange minigame where you are a chicken flapping around, and a Segway race.
Oh, I
through
remember
various
watching
parts of the
that.
island. I particularly like the cycling
remember
and
watching
Segway
that.
games because this is about as close
There
as
used
we
to be
got
a
to an
channel. It
open
was
world version
called
of Wuhu Island. I can't really
the
dive
Bit
deep
Block.
into these minigames because I
It
don't
was like
actually
two
own Wii
dudes,
Fit
and they would
Plus,
play like a
so I
bunch of
can't play the
Nintendo
games
games.
myself.
I remember.
But don't worry, cycling and Bird's Eye Bullseye come back later. So let's talk about the Rhythm March and Segway minigames
what happened to
really
them.
quickly. The Rhythm Marching game has you marching around the plaza in Wuhu Town, shaking your remote to the beat. It looks like kind of a dumb minigame, but it's fun to see Wuhu Town all decorated and partying. And the Segway Circuit game is where you ride around the same map as the cycling game, but this time you're hitting beach balls that come up out of holes in the ground. This game takes place over various parts of the island, like the beach and
Does it
Wuhu
hit the
Town.
dog?
Okay, now that those are covered, we can move on. We'll talk about cycling and Bird's Eye Bullseye later in the video, so that's it for Wii Fit Plus.
Face Pilot. Wait.
This next one is kind of strange. Face Pilot Fly with Your Nintendo DSi Camera released
Wait,
in the summer of 2010 for Nintendo
There was a game like that on the
systems.
3DS.
And according to this website,
It was
it
Face
features
Raiders.
Wuhu Island.
I remember.
So let's see what we got here. Oh.
Face Raiders
Is that
was
supposed to be
wacky.
Wuhu Island? I mean, I can kind of see it. If I
Oh,
squint
I
my
should find my
eyes, but,
3DS. I probably
this
still
is
have
really
like
supposed to be
old
Wuhu
pictures on there.
Island, and I think this is the ugliest version yet. Even the beta version looked better than this. This is a very simple game, and there's really not much to talk about here, but there you go. Apparently, this is another appearance of Wuhu Island. Let's just move on to the next game. Pilot Wings Resort was released in March of 2011
I
alongside
don't
the
know what
launch
that
of
is.
the 3DS in North America. There were very few launch titles for the 3DS, but Pilot Wings was definitely the
3DS
best
was
one.
so
I actually
weird.
really
Like it
liked
had,
this
it was
game,
like
and
the
I
name
think
is
it's a bit underrated.
3DS,
Pilot
but
Wings
like you never
Resort is
played it in
basically the
3D.
flyover game from
I
Wii
never
Sports
used it in
Resort on the
3D mode.
expanded
I always
mod.
just turned
Now,
it off.
Pilot Wings was actually a series
It had the
before
little
Wuhu
slider.
Island even existed back on the SNES. There was also a Pilot Wings 64 on the Nintendo 64, but nothing happened with the series until this 3DS game. Not only do you have a plane, but also a jetpack, glider, and even a squirrel suit. There are multiple missions for you to complete that take place around Wuhu Island, and the free roam island flyover also returns. Sadly, it still has a time limit, but at least now you can play this mode with a jetpack and glider. Like I said previously, the island flyover was one of my favorite parts of
Did
Wii
they
Sports
ever bring
Resort,
back
so
Wuhu
naturally, I
Island on
love
the
this game.
Switch?
Plus, you get to control the plane without motion controls, which makes
I
it a
don't think
lot
so.
easier to control the plane, even if some of the fun is taken away in the process. I actually think it's pretty impressive they managed
Not
to
a
get the
Nintendo
full free
Switch
flight
Sports.
experience onto the 3DS, and it isn't significantly downgraded in any way. Once again, the best way to explore Wuhu Island is this mode. And if you collect all 75 eye points in this game, you unlock your very own private castle on one of the islands surrounding Wuhu Island. The missions are also really fun. They have you completing various objectives like following a car or trying to land in the center of a target with limited fuel in your jetpack. Wuhu Island is pretty much unchanged in this game. There are no additions or things missing. It's the same as it was in Wii Sports Resort, but Pilot Wings Resort is yet another great game that features this island.
Nice.
Mario Kart 7!
Mario Kart
After showing
8.
up quickly as a puzzle in Mii Plaza, we're on to the next game, Mario Kart 7.
Oh,
Mario
7.
Kart 7
It
was
said
released in
8.
December
I
of
was like, oh, I have
2007
8.
and featured some new tracks based on Wuhu Island.
Wait,
Specifically, there
8
are
is the
three:
one. 8 has
Maka
been around
Wuhu
for like
and
10
Wuhu
years, hasn't
Loop,
it?
which are race
I have a
tracks,
copy
and
of it.
Wuhu Town, which is a battle mode stage. What makes the two racetracks even cooler is that they are not your typical 3-lap courses. Instead, it's just one long lap split into 3 sections. In the Maka Wuhu track, you start near Camel Rock and make one big loop around
So it's
the
not
island,
laps?
going through the cave behind the waterfall, passing Summerstone Castle, and once you get up the mountain, you glide back down to the beaches. And there's even a small landing platform you can grab items on, and that's from Pilot Wings Resort. You end in a large stadium on the beach, but this stadium only appears in Mario Kart 7 and no other versions of Wuhu Island. I think it's a little strange that you don't enter the volcano, seeing as how the track is named after it, but I love that it takes place at sunset. Wuhu Island looks great with the sun setting over the ocean. The next track, Wuhu Loop, starts you out in Wuhu Town and has you race around the island passing landmarks like the Red Iron Bridge, the ancient ruins, the windmills, and the candle. This is another great track. It gives you a good tour of the island,
I don't
and
think
there's
I
a
had
cool
this
shortcut
one.
where you can go into the ancient
I had the
ruins really quickly.
Wii one
And the
though, or
final
the
Wuhu Island
yeah, I did have the
part of
Wii
Mario
one, but I
Kart
also
7
had the
is
DS
Wuhu
one.
Town Battle Course. This course takes place at night and is obviously in Wuhu Town. There is the main plaza area with the fountain and everything. Wuhu Town is one of my favorite battle course stages, although I may be a little biased. Between these 3 tracks, we get to see Wuhu Island during the day, sunset, and night. And while the Wuhu Town battle course will show up again, sadly these 2 other racetracks will not return, which is kind of a bummer because I really like those tracks, and they would have looked amazing in HD in Mario Kart.
The thing is, like,
so I guess all we can
Nintendo
do is
is not.
Wuhu and Wuhu Loop return
mean,
in Mario Kart 9.
I'm not a game dev, but I don't think it's a lot of work to remake the map.
We didn't see Wuhu Island again for almost 2 years until the launch of Wii Fit U in November of 2013. Wii Fit U launched about 1 year after
is that the Wii
came
U?
out,
Is that on
and
the
things
Wii U?
weren't going so well for Nintendo.
I had a
Very
Wii
few
U, I
people
never
bought a
used
Wii
it.
U, and many people were confused on what the console even was. A lot of people thought that it was just an add-on accessory to the original Wii, and sadly I think Wii Fit U contributed to that. Why would I buy Wii Fit U for the Wii U when I have Wii Fit for the Wii? Wii Fit U sold quite poorly, and a few months after its release,
20,000
it only
units?
sold under
What?
20,000 copies.
God
It was
damn.
getting price cuts everywhere. Basically,
Jesus.
not that many people have played this game, but it actually features a lot of appearances from our favorite vacation destination, Wuhu Island. Wuhu Island shows up a total of 9 times in Wii Fit U, so let's go through them. Jogging is back once again, and it's better than ever. The island has received
Wii
a
U
new
was by
crisp
far, like,
visual update,
the
and
biggest
there's also
flop
more
they had.
options this time. Like
I
in the
think.
first Wii Fit game, there are dogs you could follow that take you on alternate jogging routes. You have to pass your trainer when the dog runs by, and then start following the dog instead. But in Wii Fit U, there are dogs and cats, and there's way more of them. This means more alternate routes and places to see. One of my favorite ones is when you follow a cat up a ramp and start running on the rooftops of different buildings in Wuhu Town, and you eventually end up finishing on the Queen Peach. There are so many different paths to take, so now you get to see more of Wuhu Island. And probably my favorite new addition to the running mode is that the time of day and season can change. So now you can jog at night, at sunset, or even when it's snowing in winter.
Too bad, like,
This marks the
20,000
first and
people
only
only,
time we have ever
played this.
seen different seasons on Wuhu Island. I love this jogging mode because it gives you a good sense of scale for the island. Maka Wuhu looks so massive, towering over you while you run. The Red Iron Bridge is huge, and Wuhu Town actually feels like a town now that we can see it up close. All of this was in the previous Wii Fit games, but the jogging mode is best experienced in Wii Fit U because of the new options and improved visuals. The next exercise to feature Wuhu Island is one called Orienteering. In this game, you walk around Wuhu Town trying to find certain Miis. As you can see, this is pretty close to having an open world version of Wuhu Island, but sadly it falls short in a couple of ways. First off, there's a time limit, so you can't really explore at your own pace. I guess that it's supposed to be a mini game where you try and get a high score, but
Didn't they
all
also
it wants
put
to do
Breath
is
of the
run around
Wild
the
on
island.
Wii U?
The
They
second
probably could
problem
have
is
done
that
open
a lot
world.
of the island is restricted. You can explore a little bit past these signs, but not much further. The area you get to explore includes Wuhu Town, the open grass areas above Wuhu Town, the area around Summerstone Falls, and the windmills and Candle. It's a pretty good chunk of the island, but it just makes me wonder what the rest of the island would be like. I wonder if the entire island is modeled in this open world format, or if it's just this area. And the third problem is the way you control your Mii. This is Wii Fit, which means you have to walk in place to move and twist the gamepad to turn. This is a very awkward control layout, and it doesn't work very well, but I guess it's meant to give you a workout. If you walk too fast, you fall over, and the gamepad constantly needs to be recentered because it starts to drift all over the place. So yeah, it's a decently fun
Wait, so you have to
minigame, and
hold
it's almost
it?
like an open world Wuhu Island, but it
Jesus.
falls short. Cycling is the next game that has Wuhu Island. Cycling was originally added in Wii Fit Plus, but like I said earlier, I don't have that game, so we'll be looking at Wii Fit U. This one is very similar to Orienteering, only now you're on a bike. You walk in place to pedal and use the Wii remote to steer. It still isn't perfect, but it's a lot easier to control than Orienteering. And the best part about cycling is that there's no time limit. You are supposed to reach these flags in as little distance as possible, but we won't be doing that. This is as close as we have ever gotten to an open world Wuhu Island. It really just makes me want the real thing. A fully explorable Wuhu Island would be a dream come true. Once again, a large part of the island is blocked off, so
Can't
this
you-
is
can't
basically
you, like,
just
model
Orienteering
your own,
only
probably?
on a bike with no time limit. Next up is Bird's Eye Bullseye. This is another one that was added in Wii Fit Plus, so I'll be talking about the Wii Fit U version. On the beginner difficulty, you fly around the ocean outside of Wuhu Island and eventually land on the Queen Peach. Not much to see there. but on the advanced difficulty you get to fly around the main island. You start at the top of Summerstone Falls and work your way down the island. As you can probably imagine, controlling this chicken is pretty awkward and difficult, so that takes some of the fun away. And sadly there is another time limit, and this one's extremely short. You're supposed to land on platforms to increase the time limit, so if you try to go off and explore, you can't make it very far before time runs out. The next couple games really only use Wuhu Island as a background, so we won't go as in depth. There's Rowing Crew, where you race in the waters right outside of Wuhu Island, Trampoline Target, where the trampoline you jump on is placed in the center of Wuhu Town, and as you go higher you can see more of the island. Hose Down, which takes place in Wuhu Town, Scuba Search, where you explore the depths of the waters outside of Wuhu Island,
these are
and
like
finally Free Climbing, which
some of these
takes
are
place
kind of
in front
cool,
of the
but
clock tower in Wuhu Town. Alright, that was a lot to get through. Aside from Wii
they just
Sports
marketed
Resort
it
and
pretty
Pilot
badly
Wings,
with the
this
Wii
game
U,
definitely
I guess.
has the most appearances of Wuhu Island. We got pretty close to an open world, we got to see more of the island like the scuba diving game, and we even got to see Wuhu Island in different seasons. Sadly, from this point on, Wuhu Island only appears in small cameos in different Nintendo games. This is the last major appearance of Wuhu Island.
I'm sure they'll bring it back.
Super Smash Bros. For Wii U was released in November of 2014 and included 2 stages that featured Wuhu Island. These stages are Wuhu Island and Pilot Wings. Let's start by looking at Wuhu Island. This stage flies all over the island.
I don't know if it'll be
it's
somewhere on Switch, but maybe their next console.
Flies directly above it. This is one of my favorite versions of Wuhu Island. It got a visual upgrade for Smash Bros.
I think if it came for
amazing.
Switch, it probably
I'll
would have
quickly
come by
list off
now.
all the places you could land while playing on this stage. There's the top of Maka Wuhu, the Frisbee Dog Beach in front of Camel Rock, the wooden bridge in front of Summerstone Falls, a boat that cruises around the island, a small group of rocks at sea, the top of a power cruising gate, the water fountain in Wuhu Town, the center of the Swordplay Coliseum, and finally the top of Talon Rock overlooking Wuhu Town and the Red Iron Bridge. That's a lot of locations to fight at. This stage really gives you a good tour of Wuhu Island, and I love seeing all these locations visually upgraded for Smash Bros. The next stage is Pilot Wings, which takes place at both the old Pilot Wings SNES map as well as Wuhu Island. You don't land on Wuhu Island at all in this stage, instead you just fly around it on the back of a plane. But this plane still takes you all over the island, flying in, out, and around all sorts of landmarks. Both the Wuhu Island and Pilot Wings stages deliver a great look at Wuhu Island, and the visual upgrades
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of these.
Paint.
I also didn't play a lot of these.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released in April of 2017, just 2 months after the launch of the Nintendo Switch. While Wuhu Island showed up in Mario Kart 7, it was absent from Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. But with this new deluxe Switch version of Mario Kart 8, we received a new updated battle.
Oh, they did?
3 new stages were made and 3 older stages returned. And you
Yeah, I
guessed
remember
it,
these.
one of the returning stages was Wuhu Town from the 3DS. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
It received a graphical overhaul.
I
but it takes
don't
place during
remember.
the day this
There's
time
so many maps in this
Wuhu
game.
Town looks completely different. All the buildings have much different colors and designs. That's not the only difference though. Maka Wuhu looks different. It's wider and less smooth. And I think this is supposed to be the Queen Peach. It's placed in exactly the same place the Queen Peach should be,
Oh,
although
yeah.
it looks nothing like it. I think I prefer the good old Queen Peach with the red color scheme, but I guess that's just what I'm used to. The Red Iron Bridge and basketball court are both pretty much the same, but my favorite new change is the new look for the candle. They added a new base surrounding the candle and I love it. The candle always looked a little strange because there was nothing at the base, so it kind of looked like the model was just put directly
Like a
onto the
chess
ground.
piece.
While this new base makes the candle look a little bit shorter, I think it's a good improvement and I hope it stays around for future versions of Wuhu Island. It's pretty cool to see this new version of Wuhu Island, although I can't decide if I like all the changes. It was great to see Wuhu Town return to Mario Kart, but I wish the 2 other tracks also returned. Those tracks would have been amazing to see in HD with updated visuals. Now we move on to Wuhu Island's last appearance.
And what? Oh yeah, in Smash.
Super Smash Bros.
Of
Ultimate
course it's
was
in
released
Smash.
in December of 2018 and is the last time Wuhu Island has appeared in a Nintendo game.
2018.
Sadly, there isn't much to talk about here because it's just the same 2 stages from Smash Bros. For Wii U, Wuhu Island and Pilot Wings. There are some minor visual upgrades when compared to the Wii U version, but everything else is the same. As you can see, Wuhu Island looks a bit cleaner and more crisp in Smash Ultimate, but I think I actually prefer the Wii U version. Maka Wuhu
what did
looks
they
a
do
lot
to the
more boring
volcano?
and less interesting in Ultimate, but I think most
like
of the
Jimmy
locations
Neutron's
you land
hair.
at look better. Smash Ultimate has better lighting overall than Smash Wii U, so areas like the beach and Swordplay Coliseum look better. It's just kind of sad to see Wuhu Island's last appearance is a small and reused one. I'd like to take a second and acknowledge all the amazing mods and custom player-made versions
yeah.
of Wuhu Island.
Mention this.
It's clear that I'm not the only one who loves this island because there are countless amounts of cool
GTA
mods and
4.
creations based around Wuhu Island. Everything from running around the island as Mario in Super Mario 64 to playing Call of Duty Zombies on a Wuhu Island themed map. Some of my favorites are Wuhu Island in Minecraft and seeing the Mario Kart 7 Wuhu Island tracks in Mario Kart Wii. There's almost an endless amount of player-created
How's it going,
Wuhu
man?
Island content, and it always brings a smile to my face.
Oh, the skydiving game, dude.
Well, I think that's everything.
I
As
forgot
far as
about
I'm
this
aware,
one.
that's
This
the
was
complete
this is the
history
one that
of
they had in
Wuhu
like the
Island.
opening
But I'd like to
sequence.
talk about the future a little bit here. How could we see Wuhu Island used in upcoming games? I think the best way to bring back this island would be Switch Sports Resort, a remaster of all the Wii Sports content so far, as well as adding some new features. I would like to see all the sports from the first Wii Sports return, like baseball and boxing. I think they could
I mean,
easily
they
create
made
a new
Switch
building in
Sports.
Wuhu Town for boxing,
It was
and
just-
they could put the baseball stadium in the open fields.
They
above
didn't
Wuhu
bring
Town.
back any
I
of
also
the
think all the
classics,
Pilot Wings Resort content should
or
be
most.
brought over into the Air Sports mode. Hopefully the Joy-Cons would work for motion controls, but there should probably be some button control options too. And the number one thing I want from a new Wii Sports game is a fully explorable, open-world version of Wuhu Island, where you can walk around the island,
Yeah, they can
select
do
sports
that.
to play, and use all different types of vehicles. to
Will
get
they?
around. Just imagine walking to Wuhu Town, jumping in a plane, flying high above the island, and then jumping out and skydiving back down below.
And
It
we
would
have
be
Breath
so
of the
much fun
Wild.
to explore Wuhu Island freely. I also think it would be awesome if you got your own house somewhere on the island that you could go inside and customize. I could talk about a potential Switch Sports Resort game all day, but maybe I'll save that for another video. I really hope we'll see Wuhu Island again someday, and hopefully soon. It took a lot of hard work and researching to make this video, but it was also a lot of fun. If you enjoyed
Hell
this
yeah,
video,
man.
I'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments what
That's
you
a
think
good
about
video.
all this. I'm pretty sure I covered everything in this video, but if you think I missed something about Wuhu Island, be sure to tell me. I guess the only thing left to do is to kick back, relax, play more Wii Sports Resort, and hope a new Wuhu Island game gets announced soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one.
Hell yeah, that was an amazing video. Brought back some good memories.